everyone. Welcome back to my channel, which is called Amnicon Studio. I am a yarn crafter, a cross stitcher. I play with fabrics. I dabble in quilting and bag making. I garden and a whole bunch of other things, which I share about everything on my blog, which is named amniconstudio.blogspot.com. All right, so it has been a minute since I last recorded. I can only blame, if you can, the weather. Our weather has gone funky and off the rails again, so all the days that I wanted to record, it was usually raining or thunderstorming out. It's raining and really crappy weather today, but I decided if I don't sit down and share about my crafting, it's probably not going to happen for a while, and I didn't want anybody worrying that anything might have happened to me. If anybody might have. You will see that I'm in a different location, which is back where I started when I started floss tubing at the beginning of the year, which is my living room, because I didn't want to haul everything out to the she shed because it's raining. You might be able to see a little bit the trees blowing. If you hear any crackling, that is the wood stove, because I decided I wanted heat. It is not that cold in the house, but it's very damp feeling outside, and I've been bouncing back and forth, and I decided I wanted to feel warm and cozy. Very appropriate for the season we're entering. I have show notes, which I've tried to angle the computer in a way that it wasn't reflecting, but you can still kind of see it, which is funny to me. I want to be able to see what I typed up. I have some finishes, some works in progress, a little bit of haul, and something new that I decided I wanted to just share on the show notes when I post video updates. So let me grab the first. All right, I just finished recording the last snippet and realized that I didn't really share the other reason why I hadn't been recording, which was I was feeling better physically, so I decided I needed to do some deep cleaning in most of my free time while I could before hunting season starts in just over a week or so. And there was a lot of things I wanted to get done before my weekends and early evenings got taken up by that, which I know seems kind of random to interject that into the video, but that is another reason why I haven't been recording, which also is why I haven't been crafting a whole lot. There's no new starts for cross stitching. I guess one thing you could consider to be a new start for knitting and crocheting, but really I've mostly worked on 3 things in the last 3 weeks or so that I've been away from YouTube. All right, my first finished project that I want to share about is One Stitch at a Time by La-Di-Da Stitches. This is a stitch along that I'm participating in with the Across the Pond Stitch and Chat group on Facebook. Doing that, oops, I'm doing the head bops again. Here is my project card. I started it January 10th, 2025. I finished it August 19th, 2025. I did the DMC conversion, except for the color for the house. I used 3777 And I think from now on, anytime that I do a cross stitch project that has a house in it, unless it's a really fantastic color, I'm gonna use this color because I liked it so much and how it turned out. I'll put a photo of what it looked like the last time I shared. Here it is. I am so pleased with how it turned out. Let's see, I did this in 2 parts. I had it in a Q-snap, so I did this part first, and then I did this part second. And I started out doing it in different sections. Like, I think when I started working on the second part, I did the border first, and then I started down here, and I thought I would work on something over here first, but I actually ended up finishing the house, which there's some customizations in it. Turned out great. Previous video I said that I goofed up somewhere with the stitches and I had extra rows or extra lines of stitches. I don't remember what, but there's extra stitches in there, and I decided I like how 1/1 stitching looks because there's some in there. And let's see, I like how the color on these, I liked how they turned out. I want to say that because this was so long ago that I did this, that I can't remember, and I didn't write it down because I thought, oh, I'll be talking about it in just a little bit. There's no point. I think I goofed up something somewhere on here, and I ended up having to rip it out at least once, maybe twice, which was kind of frustrating on this fabric, which I forgot to say that it's Charles Craft DMC 28 count linen in the tea dyed colorway. I haven't cross-stitched on this kind of linen before. I know it said 28 count. They might have tried to say that was an even weave, but I don't think it's an even weave. It's a very loose, to me, weave on it, and it caused me some problems, and I told myself I don't know if I would work with this fabric again. I've got a decent amount left over, so in the future I may carefully choose what I decide to use on the scrap fabrics for it. But yeah, I am very happy with it, and now that I have shared this, I can share it on the group. Oh, I forgot. I did put the initials in over here, and I went online and I found it might have been that Lord Lebanon site where it has the different alphabets on it, and I found something that fit in the space, and I put my initials in there. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. And now it's done. I'm going to find a frame for it. Now that I think about it, I suppose I should probably try the thrift stores first and see what they have to fit for it. But yeah, I can't wait to hang this up on my wall. The next finished project I have is not cross stitch, it is knitting. Let me move this a little bit. This is my beach cruise socks. I'm trying to think if I still have the ball bands for the yarn. I started the beach cruise socks on June 1st. 2025. The yarn is Knit Picks Felici. I don't feel any ball bands. In the Beach Cruise colorway. And I wound up with a decent amount of leftover sock yarn. I don't remember when I finished the first sock. The second sock I finished August 29th. I didn't write that one down, but it was on a Friday. I was pushing to get these done before September 1st. And, well, let's see. I've got a little bit of a story about the second one, and I can't remember if I posted anywhere about it, but I was knitting the second sock and I got down to the heel flap and I finished turning for the heel, and I realized that the gauge looked really tight. So I tried it on and it was very tight, and I held it up and compared it to the other sock that I had, and it was obvious that the second sock was stitched much tighter than the first one. And I went, oh crap, there is no way I can make this work. So I ripped the whole thing out and started again. And then I don't even remember what I was doing when I realized that I was knitting it with 2 different sized needle tips. I have no idea how that happened, and that might be part of why the sock wound up being knit too tight. I don't even know. And even I had a, okay, let's see if no, I don't have the 9-inch needle out, but when I was doing the heel flap and turning the heel and all that, I used 2 circular needles to work that for putting it back on the 9-inch needle. And I realized even these, the ones that I had pulled out, were 2 different sizes. I don't know. I really don't know. So I made sure that one is like put away and nowhere near my needles. And I've got these ones tucked in the bag, and hopefully that never happens again, because that really stunk having to redo that sock. I think how do you want to put it? Like, I lost a week's worth of knitting time on it, because it took me over a week to get back to where, no, it took me a little over a week to finish the second sock from start to finish, when I could have been working on something else. All right, so after all that, here's the socks. They turned out very good, and I'm very happy with how they look. I know this one, I can tell this one was my first sock because of that random yellow line. Yeah, there was something about stitching with the 9-inch circular needle. Once I got past the cuff, it was a lot easier to work with on those little needles than it has been in the past for me. So I suppose I will keep using the 9-inch circular needle, although the next pair of socks I start on, I'm doing on 2 circular needles, because I think they're going to be my hunting blind project. We'll see, unless I decide that I want to work on something else that is portable and easy to drag out there and back. My next thing I want to share with is the first works in progress that I've been working on, which is Red Panda. I started Red Panda by Lindy Stitches on July 4th, 2025. This is part of last year's Endangered Species Club, and it's the first chart from that club that I started working on. The fabric is Hobby Lobby Ada 16 count. Huh. And I'm using the Called Floor DMC and the fancy floss that it calls for. Here are the threads. I think I shared this one on the last video, and if I did, I'll put a photo up. Here is my progress so far. I started out at the top and then worked, well, a few of the embellishments, and then I worked on the first panda. I haven't put his face in yet. And then I did the branch and worked my way down to here. Started out with the ear, and then I decided I was going to, well, a good idea would be to do the outline of some of the parts and then go in and do the fill-in. And everything lined up. So I'm hoping that is accurate and not just a random goof, because I stitched up here on this branch and let's see, something went wonky on it and things weren't lining up, and I was ripping out and restitching it, ripping out and restitching, and it just never lined up the way it was supposed to. And I adjusted and made it work, and adjusted parts down here that needed adjusting. So that's where I am so far. Kind of let you see. And I'm wondering if part of my issue with why I'm having problems with that is because the chart is so big, and I'm working off the paper chart rather than scan it into Pattern Keeper. I don't know why I didn't scan it in, or if I did, I don't know why I'm not using it. But the chart is big, which is great. I mean, you can see everything, but I probably should have made a working copy rather than trying to work off the original, because the chart, it goes from here to here. So I have it sitting next to me, but I don't have anything kind of holding where I am, and I'm not marking off the stitches that I worked. Now that I think about it, I should probably just go ahead and make a printout, a working copy, because I have a feeling that the rest of this would be a lot smooth sailing. I mean, it's just me making problems for myself. But yeah, I love Lindy Stitch's charts, and this one, when I take the time to sit down and work on it, it goes pretty quickly. Isn't it something how you think you're completely prepared for making the video, and then you realize that things are not the way they should be? And that's how I'm feeling about it right now. The second cross stitch that I've been working on for the last month or so is my A Daily Reminder by Brenda Gervais. I'm trying to find my project card. Oh, it's in the bag. A daily reminder, I started it on June 25th, 2025. It's by Brenda Gervais. I purchased it at Farm Girl Dry Goods. The fabric I used is Stash Ada that I hand dyed. So it's brown with splashes of green. 14 count. The DMC is my own conversion. Let's see if I wrote. Yeah, so far I've used B5200, 435, 947, 355, 321, 562, and 435, which I will put in the show notes. This is a stitch along that I'm doing with Sarah over at Sarah's Stitchy Spot, Holly at Holly's of Hobbies of Holly, Judy Stitching Bunny, and one other gal named Marcy. And if you are stitching this as well, please let me know in the show notes, because I would love to add you to the list that I'm stitching this with. Brain. Okay, so this is what the chart looks like. And this one might be a little more hands-on than the rest. This is where I am so far. Ooh, that looks good. Everything looks so much more vibrant in the screen. So I started out with the border, and then I made the flower, and then I did that little piece, and then I stitched this bush, which I'll tell you was a little bit more difficult than I anticipated it would be, because it's not everything is the same on it, which is fine. It definitely holds your attention. I'll put that back up so you can see. I have not worked a whole lot on it, partly because the way that I'm choosing the DMC floss for this is I have, how do you want to call it? A master set by colors according to the DMC, what's that called? The thing. The color card. The color card. I have it in the color groups. So what I was doing actually was looking up the colors that this called for, and then looking at the DMC alternative, and then deciding if I liked what it called for or something different. And then since I wanted this to be vibrant, all the colors that I've chosen so far have been different than what the DMC conversion is for the fancy floss, or the recommendations. So, I mean, it's been a little bit of a process, and I'm probably making it more difficult than it needs to be, but that's okay. I've got, well, I have colors in here that I might use, colors that I might not use, but I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. Let's see if I can hold this up. Like, here's colors I have so far. And what's been really cool about this, once I picked out the colors and I went to my floss bins to pick them out, every color that I've chosen so far has been a color that I've used in another project. So I've been using leftovers. Let's see. Alrighty. The basket I don't have it in here. I should, because there's another basket that will need that color, but that color is, oh, where did I put it? The basket is $3.55, which actually that color comes from my red Panda. It's this color right here. I saw that and I thought, you know, that would make a good color for the basket. And I pulled out some strands of that from that project and worked it in here. So the flowers is $9.73. And the center is $4.35. I chose those two colors for the flowers because they remind me of a flower that I have been seeing on the sides of the roads when I've been driving. I don't know if they're brown-eyed Susans or just a ditch flower, but they're pretty. They grow on a single stem and then they branch out, and they have a lot of heads on each stem. And I think I took a picture, and if I still have it, I'll put it up here so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I first thought they were black-eyed Susans, but they're smaller. The color of dandelions, but they're petaled. So there's those, and then $3.21 for that little bit right there. And then this is $5.62 for down here and for the stems up there. And I went with something, actually I can't remember if this color was supposed to be the same color as down here, but I wanted to go with something different. I thought this color would blend in with the green background. So I went for something a little more vibrant, which is $700. And then the stem there is $8.98. And that's as far as I got so far. I'm not sure what I'll be doing next. Probably the fence, maybe. And that, I think I might go with a light brown, a light golden brown maybe. I haven't decided yet. I do know that the flowers over here, unless it looks just really awful, I want to go with this color because it reminds me of zinnias, and that, just the shape of the flower, I think would look nice. We'll see. I have no problems with ripping it out if it looks really bad. And then I said earlier in the video that the house will be whichever number I mentioned before, 3777, which is kind of a brick color. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing this as I go. And then I think I was watching somebody else's video, or I just happened to be looking at the chart here and remembered that there is a border on here. Now the border, I don't think I would be able to do on Ada, so I'm going to change that. And I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and of course now I can't remember what it was. Or no, I think it needs the border. It needs something, so I will decide what to do. Yeah, so that is that one. Yeah, it's This one also has been a quick stitch when I do pull it out and start working on it. And when I pulled this out to iron for the video and I realized just the space on it, I thought, wow, there's not much, I say this now, there's not much left to do, but I'm sure once I get going on the house maybe, I'll change my tune. That is it for the cross stitch. I need to clean this up. I have no new cross stitch starts. However, I do have new yarn projects that I've been working on. Projects, I'm not sure to count it as a single or multiple because it's been knit and crochet, and it's dishcloths. I finished the sock, the second sock, and I decided I wanted something quick and easy to work on, and also it was a bit of a palette cleanser. So I didn't have anything to work on in the mornings before work or when I was just brain dead from the day and didn't want to have to think too hard. Dishcloths usually fit the bill for me for that. So, I swear. Hold please. All right, I'm back. I managed to lose my project while I was talking about it. Okay. So I've been working on these for the last week or so. Nothing fancy. I just cast on a certain amount of stitches and just went to town with it. You know, granny square dishcloth, the single crochet dishcloth. This one, not as big. I think this was, the stitch pattern was single crochet and then double crochet. And it makes a really nice pattern. And I might have done the same thing with this one. And then when I decided that I should probably knit one instead of crochet one because it was starting to bug my wrist, I went and found a knit dishcloth pattern that I thought was simple yet cute. And I think I'll link to it in the show notes. I think the website was called wildberry.com. And the pattern might have been called Parsley. And unfortunately, it shows up better on the screen than when I'm looking at it. The pattern is, well, maybe I shouldn't have recorded today. I don't know. Garter stitch at the top and the bottom, and the center is, it might be a moss stitch, double moss stitch. It's a free pattern, so it's not like I'm giving away the secret sauce or anything. But I don't know, my brain was not braining right with this, and I misread the directions or didn't read them clearly, and then I realized that I'd screwed up one of the borders, so I ripped it out. And fortunately I am a quick knitter, so it didn't take long to get back to where I was. And I'm very happy with how it's turning out. I'm running short on the yarn, so I either need to call it where I'm at or go see if I have more of this color yarn, which, okay. I have had this cotton yarn for more than a decade. It feels so weird to say that. It might even be close to 15 years. But I was at Walmart one day and they had a lot of their yarn on clearance. Their dishcloth cotton yarn on clearance. But it wasn't the real pretty colors. It was stuff that I guess nobody wanted to buy except for me when it was on clearance for, it was like 50 or 75 cents a ball. Cannot pass that up. So this color is called Cream, and it's Lily, the original sugar and cream dishcloth yarn. The problem with this for me is that I couldn't find any patterns that I really liked that I thought that the pattern would show up, you know, like this. I mean, the light hits it just right. I don't know. It must be because of how light it is that the pattern doesn't want to show up as much, but I don't know. And then this one, colorway is called Pastel Delight. So that is what I've been working on, knitting. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, those aren't very terribly interesting, and I probably just spent like 5 minutes talking about them. Oh, I do want to say that the knitting needles that I'm using for these are from a set that I ordered off of Amazon after hearing about them from the Yarn Over With Us podcast. I think they're putting out a new video probably very soon, but their previous video, they were talking about this interchangeable knitting needle set that they found that was just an incredible price. I've been in the market for a second set of metal interchangeable needles. I have chiaogus that I absolutely love. I have bamboo chiaogus that I'm kind of iffy on. They're a little more sticky than I thought they would be, and the cables that came with them, I'm really not a fan of. I love the red cables that came with the, I don't know if they're called anything fancy, lace needles or whatever, but the red cables are very sturdy and they don't twist up on you. So after hearing them rave about the price, although they hadn't had a chance to really work with them yet, and I thought, I gotta get in on this. So I got them, and they came in a cute pink. I love that they're color coordinated, and the sizes are real big on the needles themselves. Now, I don't know if the needle size is gonna stay on there or if it's gonna eventually wear off. I had a little conversation with Linda from Yarn Over With Us, and she had the same, I guess the same takeaway I did with them, that they're kind of grippy, so you don't have to worry too much about things slipping off. Nice sharp needle points. See the focus? Very nice. I love pointy needles. And the cables are nice. I mean, it comes with that stitch markers, which I don't know that I'll use. And then extra cables, cable stoppers. But the cables are, I don't know if anything is as good as chiaogus, but it's a nice steel cable. It's got a coating on it. Doesn't twist or bind up on me. So far I've been very happy with them. I did go back to look because I was sharing with a friend about them, and I saw they're even cheaper than when I bought them. I paid $30 for these needles. And when I looked last, they were $25. You cannot beat that price. My first set of knitting needles came from Knit Picks, and while I was very happy with them at the time, using ChiaoGu's now, like, for me, there's no comparison. The Knit Picks needles, cables just aren't as good, I think. And I know way back when I had some, well, I still do. I still have circular needles from them. The glue that's holding the cable in eventually gives up and the cables pop out. So you either gotta throw the needle away or super glue them back. And I have no idea how much they cost now. And I see they've got a lot of different sets that they're putting out now with their wooden tipped ones, which you don't know how to put this. I was very green when I first got into knitting, let's just put it that way, about how some companies practice. I got a couple things in the mail since I last recorded, and the first thing is something I won off of Patty's channel, Stitching with My Kitties. She did a giveaway and I won Cattails Collection February Cat, and it's super cute. So thank you for that, Patty. The other thing that showed up in the mail was the most recent Just Cross Stitch magazine. I have been going around and around on if I was going to do anything special for Sampler September. Like, one of the projects I'm currently working on is a sampler, so it's not like I'd be doing anything special if I just keep working on that one. And then I've got another sampler type project that is kind of in timeout just because I haven't wanted to work on it. And I thought to myself, I've got this other chart that maybe I should just focus on what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. And then this comes out and I saw that and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And it looks like it would be a quick project. I mean, I participated in Sampler September last year and I had a lot of fun with it. I was able to get it done before the end of the month. So I'm not sure, still not sure if I'm going to do anything special for Sampler September. I will show you. I'm not going to flip through because I don't want to take up all that time. But I will show you all the different projects that are in there on the index page. I've done a quick flip through so far. I'm trying to think if anything really caught my eye. I mean, the little fox did, number 45. Where is it? This one, number 17. The colors, I love the colors. Oh, and then the squirrel one. I think I've seen that one a few times on social media already. It's really cute. It's not going to show. But if you have the magazine, you already know what I'm talking about. And there's some cute mill hills on the back too. Those are two things in the mail. I did purchase a few charts. Because collecting charts is fun and it's a whole other hobby. I got Mischievous Eucalyptus from Mud Puppy Stitchery. She put that out, I don't remember what day, but within the last month. And then also she started up a Patreon, and the first thing she put up there was a free frog chart, which of course immediately I had to join her Patreon. It's my first time joining any kind of Patreon. And downloaded that, and then I just wanted to do a little kind of shout out on it too, because I love her charts and I'm trying to support her as much as I can. And then the other two charts, yeah, it was only two other ones, were from the Stitching Porch.etsy.com, which is a simple life. And I thought this one kind of spoke to me. And then the other one, I must have seen both of these on social media, but this next one, I saw it and I thought, I need to get it and I need to stitch it for somebody special in my life. I'm not gonna say who, just in case they watch the video, although I'm sure that person totally knows that I'm talking about them. So it's Lord of the Rings, a romantic quote, and you'll be able to read it here because I don't have that out in front of me, but I think it caught my eye because my husband and I have been waiting for the audiobooks of the Lords of the Rings trilogy to come in and become available so we can do a listen together for it. I got the CDs earlier in the summer, and they're older CDs, and trying to rip them into the computer and then import them onto the smartphones so we can listen to them in the car, because newer cars no longer have CD players, which sucks. It was a disaster. I spent a lot of time importing those discs, and they just skip and shuffle and do their own thing, and it's just a hot mess, and we kind of gave up. And I'm trying again and hoping that I get different CDs. But in the meantime, we also have the books on request in the library, the Libby app, which aren't available for months and months and months, which stinks. But there's no wait for the audiobooks, the CD audiobooks. So that's it for that. I have been working on this video for the last, I don't know how long, and with starting and stopping, I have no idea how long this video is. So I'm hoping it's quick. Yeah. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Well, okay, in the last month, if you've read on the blog, then you know that we sold off the flock, and it's something that, you know, people do after a few years of having the chickens. I have what I am calling babies. The chicks that we got earlier this year, they have been moved into the little coop. I do have one of the girls still from the flock, because she was my favorite out of that group, and she is slowly getting used to having I can't see. Well, she's slowly getting used to hanging with the babies. I mean, they're not like BFFs or anything, but she's no longer like shunning them, which is great. The babies, now that they've gotten a little bit of independence, they act like I am trying to murder them anytime that I try to get near them or pet them. And the one girl, I think she's about as smart as a brick. She keeps wandering off from the flock, And then when she doesn't see them, she panics and starts calling for them. But their calls are still so soft that nobody hears her. And when I try to kind of corral her over to where the rest of them are, she freaks out and runs into the woods. Yeah, they did come and show up on the porch the other day, and we're looking in, and I took a couple pictures of them, so I'll share those. The weather, you can't tell, but since I've started making this video, it's gone from cloudy and overcast and windy to sunny and windy, back to overcast, back to sunny, back to overcast again. And the cool weather has not been all that great for the garden, so everything's still growing real slow. I've got a fair amount of tomatoes on the vines, but until the weather, you know, really warms up, they're not going to ripen as quick as they normally would. We've been collecting peppers off the pepper plants. Cucumbers are growing like gangbusters, and we've been harvesting and enjoying those as snacks. I will try to do a video of the garden, a little garden chat one, but I don't know that it will be very long, and it could very well be the last one of the season, just because there's nothing really to share. Everything's grown so slow that it's really hard to work up a lot of enthusiasm for anything, except for those cucumbers that are just taking over. Yeah. I was thinking too, the deer ate my green beans. Brats. All right, last thing I wanted to share, and I had an idea kind of stemming from something that Kat over at Stitching with the Griffin is doing, which I will adopt that too, but I also wanted to take it kind of one step further and include Etsy shops that I've either purchased something from, or I've made a connection to the person who's running the shop. And I think that'd be a great way to help support them and get their names out there as well, because we all know that the algorithms can be really cruel sometimes and mean. Which, speaking of the algorithms, let me go on a tangent first. My blog, amnaconstudio.blogspot.com. Something has happened in the last few weeks, and now all of a sudden I'm getting a ton of views on there, which is great. I love it. I love that people are reading the blog, but I have no idea where it's coming from, and I think it is so weird. Yeah, like I'm used to getting between 25 and 45 views per blog post. I mean, and that's what it's been like for a long time. And now all of a sudden I'm getting hundreds of views. And I joked to my husband the other day and thought maybe I should be throwing more energy into the blog. But it's so weird to me to see that it's kind of taking off in a way. I don't know, because I'm not getting any kind of feedback, and I can't tell from what little bit of data Blogger will give you. I can't tell where it's coming from. I mean, there's what do they call it? I can see supposedly where the incoming clicks are coming from, and they don't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, one of them's Reddit, so I went to Reddit and I tried doing a search on my blog name and nothing came up. All right, done with that tangent. So going forward, I'm gonna have a little section on my show notes of Etsy sites that you should check out. I'm gonna put the glasses back on. Etsy, AZ Family Zoo. That's Allison. She also has a Flosstube, and she does a lot of tutorials for Kimberbell, which I will have a link to her blog, her YouTube as well, so you can check her out and follow her over there. And the reason why I want to make sure that her Etsy site gets out there is because she's running a, I think she calls it a forever home sanctuary for animals, all kinds of animals, and proceeds from the sales of her Etsy shop go directly to support caring for these animals. So she's got a lot of reasonably priced items on her Etsy shop, and she does patterns, cross stitch bling, umbrella cross stitch bling, and a lot of fun things. Mud Puppy Stitchery, Kenzie, who you've heard me mention many times. I love her charts and I think they're really great, and I would like to see her succeed in her cross stitching design journey. Jessica over at Lumi Stitch, she also has a Flosstube. She makes bags, and she makes bags. She dyes fabric. She's got some cross stitch charts, and her fabric that she does is beautiful. The bags she does are really great as well. And I wonder a lot of times where these bag designers get all of this pretty fabric from, because when I go to the store, I don't see it. So you guys must be ordering it somewhere online. Nancy over at Disorderly Stitcher, she's a bag maker too, and she does a lot of really nice bags. Denise over at Black Ribbon Shop, she also has a Flosstube, and when I looked on her Etsy shop right before making this video, she's got a couple patterns out up there for sale. Crochet, if you're a crochet person, if you crochet. Hannah over at Ladybug Stitches, she also does a Flosstube, and she has a lot of cute charts as well. Sambry Stitches. Oh, oh, I just blanked on her name. Becca over at Sambry Stitches. She's got a lot of really, I'm so sorry, I blanked. She's got a lot of really nice charts, and I've purchased from her as well. Okay, this one, I cannot remember her name, but it's Sweet Autumn Stitch, and I have purchased needle minders from her previously, and she does a lot of really nice ones. I've got this one. I've got this one, and I've got this one. I don't even have all the needle minders from I purchased from her out here because a bunch of them are in projects. And this one. I think she puts out amazing needle minders, and I actually contacted her once and asked her to do a custom needle minders for me, and I told her what I was looking for, and she wasn't able to get me exactly what I was looking for, but I appreciated her customer service so much that I actually ended up buying what she showed me and then some because good customer service is so rare nowadays. I mean, and she just like jumped on it right away, and I think within 24 hours she had the graphics picked out, the needle minders made, and like within the next day or so she had them in the mail to me. So I mean, yay. So, and then Cherry Hill Stitchery, I've ordered from her before. It's another one that I don't know her name, but I've purchased charts from her. I'm on her newsletter. She puts out a lot of really cute charts, and I know she's been in various magazines. Punch Needle, Primitive is the one that comes to mind. And then this one is actually a friend of mine. I feel like I need to preface that first. So I might be a little biased, but Stormy Blue, and I think, well, that's just the name of the Etsy shop, but I think it's like Stormy Blue Candlery. She hand pours really amazing candles. Can you see the sun's coming out? And she also does pottery, so she makes mugs, which I haven't purchased any of those yet, but I have purchased candles, and they are like, I don't know what kind of witchcraft she's using, but the candles smell amazing. The scent stays. There's a lot of staying power for that, and she is just so incredibly clever with her candle names and the scents, the scent profiles. Like I purchased a Ron Swanson one for my brother-in-law. I've purchased a Christmas one for a co-worker. I can't remember which other ones, but there's one that I have that I just kind of sit and hold on to and smell when I'm having a bad time. And it's like I knit because punching people is frowned upon or something like that. Yeah, so check those out. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. No, I think that's it. I have no clever outro, so I guess future plans. I have no future plans cross stitching. I might start something, I might not. I may just keep going with what I'm doing, or I may pull out one of the projects that is in hibernation, which I really should if I ever want to get my full coverage porky piece done. Right now, the last week or so, my attention has been towards getting ready for hunting season. That is how we put meat in the freezer. I know maybe some people don't like the idea of that, but that is something that we do. And until I get what I need to do, my hunting season could be long or could be short. It all depends. And I still need to figure out a project to bring out with me for that, or I may listen to Flosstubes, or I may listen to audiobooks. Oh, audiobooks. Speaking of, somebody that I watch, and I don't remember who it was, mentioned that they read this story and I thought it sounded good. I requested the audiobook for it from the library, and it's called 3 Bags Full. International bestseller. I think the author is German. It's 9 hours long. It is by Leonie Swan. And I wonder if you can read this. Probably not. But the story, I'm 1 chapter in so far. The story is that the sheep herd, their shepherd was murdered in their field, and they decided that they're gonna figure out who did it. And it's a cute story so far, which feels weird to say for a murder mystery, but it's cozy mystery. There's been like nothing gory yet. And I'm curious to know, I'll have to look this up, if they've got more books in the series, because I have a feeling that I'm gonna really, really like this and really, really wish that there was more. So, okay, that is it. I hope, I strive to record every 2 weeks. We know how that sometimes goes. Physically, I'm feeling pretty damn good. And I'm doing everything that I can to keep that going. I'm doing exercises, drinking plenty of water, taking lots of supplements, doing what I'm supposed to. We'll see. But just know that if I'm late in the next couple of months or so, it's probably because life is lifing and I've got a lot going on. And I mean, even the crafting has slowed down a bit. So until next time, stay safe. Bye.